Greetings, Friends Academy community. I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing this summer, that you and your children are healthy and happy. In this video communication, I, along with the academic team at Friends, Jen Halliday, and our three principals, will provide you with the framework for our Friends Academy Return to School plan for the 2020-21 school year. This framework will provide you with the overarching elements of our plan, which includes 3 models, one of which we will implement this fall if conditions remain unchanged in our area. That is the model we will be speaking about today. As a reminder, we will be sharing with all families our full detailed written plan during the first week of August. The information we share here represents our best thinking now and is based on the latest scientific research about transmission, data from our region, and guidance from the Governor's Office and New York State Education Department. The Incident Command Team at Friends Academy and our principals have worked tirelessly these last weeks, and I'd like to thank them for their ongoing efforts. Additionally, we would like to hear from our families and will be sending out a short survey in the next few days. Governor Cuomo released state guidance for the reopening of New York schools. Long Island is currently in phase 4. He anticipates our region will reopen schools this fall, and we are prepared to welcome our students back to Friends Academy with our all-school hybrid model. Our Friends Academy plan is grounded on 2 rigorous and equally vital principles. First, we will adhere to the highest standards of health protocols, and second, we will sustain and build on academic excellence for early childhood through grade 12. We did not reach consensus on this plan until we could say with confidence that a particular element of the plan met both rigorous criteria. These 2 principles guide every decision we made and will continue to make. We will raise the bar on health protocols. There are 3 critical criteria to meet and mitigate against the spread of coronavirus. While not required, Friends Academy will meet all 3 simultaneously. We will not compromise on any of these guidelines, nor will we forego even one for the sake of convenience or good enough. First, students will maintain 6 feet of physical distance to ensure ample space between and around each student and adult. We know that aerosol droplets are the transmitter of this virus. Students will learn in small cohorts to greatly reduce the number of contacts, which will reduce the likelihood of exposure. Fewer contacts significantly reduces the likelihood of contracting the coronavirus. A second goal here is to ensure contact tracing can be initiated easily and efficiently if it were to become necessary. Finally, all members of the Friends community will wear masks except for when they are eating or taking mask breaks. In addition to these strategies, our cleaning, hand washing, and screening protocols are of the highest standards, and we have procured the materials we need to put these screening elements in place. Second, maintaining academic excellence. We believe the most important factor in delivering an academically excellent program is holding to the highest of Friends Academy standards. This requires us to, 1, provide maximum synchronous or face-to-face time with the primary classroom teacher, whether virtual or in person. 2, deliver the full content, replicating the coverage and depth in a typical school year. And 3, that learning is happening with maximum interaction and guidance from the primary classroom teacher and in an environment that is conducive to learning. Please note that phrase, conducive to learning. We know that an all on-campus at all cost experience does not necessarily provide the best learning environment. And we are confident that Friends Academy's model meets these 2 vital standards. Next, Jen Halliday, our Director of Academic Affairs, will discuss our plan for the fall. Please note and bear in mind these critical points. We will begin the year in 1 model, but we are fully prepared to adapt in response to changes in the pandemic conditions in our area. If you anticipate that our model will not meet your family's needs, please make an appointment with Jen Halliday to discuss your individual circumstances. At Friends Academy, we always strive to personalize our approach to education. Jen?
Given the current guidelines issued by the state of New York, including the 6-foot social distancing requirements and the need for face coverings, our most likely model for reopening will include an in-person learning experience on our Friends Academy campus for our youngest learners, from early childhood through grade 8. These students will have the opportunity to be at school in cohort groupings that are socially distanced and will have adequate time for social emotional skill building as well as academic instruction alongside their classroom teachers. Our upper school students will participate in a learning model that includes virtual learning at home, as well as scheduled times on campus for full days of in-person classes, meeting for worship, socialization, one-on-one time with teachers and learning specialists, extended advisories, athletic options, and other activities. For all of our students, we will implement a modified version of our 8-day schedule, which we have been preparing to launch for over 2 years. This schedule provides every student with additional class time for greater problem solving, student-centered learning, and greater depth.
I'm very confident that having the majority of our learning time be online in our new schedule, and complementing that with some controlled in-person time on flex days, on campus days with limited cohorts, is the best solution for this time. If we did on campus for half, off campus for half, we would be losing a lot of potentially impactful instructional time. Our teachers, equipped with the resources they have to do small group work and discussions, to do individualized feedback and personalized extra help, to not simply lecture online, but to create environments that are multidimensional and multimodal, are going to be far more adept at running what honestly in person would be a dynamic in-person classroom, but which is not possible given the current distancing requirements. That would, in my view, limit the kinds of learning that could really optimally move our students forward in the ways that they need to move, given the kinds of programs that they're involved in, including the AP program. When we do flex days on campus, we would prioritize not only dynamics between students and students and teachers, but we would also prioritize individualized instruction and extra help.
Assuming it's safe and healthy to do so, we are so excited to welcome middle school students back to campus this fall. 3 priorities guide our thinking in middle school. The first is to maximize instructional time across our curriculum and program. The second is to help students cultivate strong executive functioning skills and foster ownership of their own learning. We feel that's best done in person if we can be together. We know that preteens and emerging adolescents benefit from direct interpersonal feedback from teachers and from their classmates when they're learning collaboratively. And that brings me to my final point. At this age, being in community together helps students be stronger learners in classes, in advisory, and in activities across the board. It is absolutely true that how we are in community together will need to look different this year for health and safety reasons. And I assure you that health and safety are our top priorities.
It is so important for our children to come back and to be able to connect with their teachers, with each other, even in a model where there is social distancing and there are new protocols in place to keep our children safe and healthy. Our youngest learners are not as independent as their older peers. And so bringing them back to campus will not only help them foster and continue that educational excellence, but also help them connect as a community after all of this time of not being together. Part of some of the protocols that we're fortunate to be able to do on our FA campus to keep our children safe are to keep them in smaller groups, in smaller cohorts. One of the things that we would do is keep our children in their classrooms for lunch. We're lessening the transitions and the different spaces that they're traveling to. So similar to having our teachers and having our specialists rotate to different spaces where the children are, as opposed to our children traveling to those spaces, is another way to help keep children healthy and safe by reducing the amount of spaces that they travel to. We're really fortunate with such an expansive and gorgeous campus that we are able to use our outdoor space in creative ways. And while our teachers already implement this in the curriculum, we can take this a step further. Of course, knowing that being outside is also something that keeps our children healthy and safe and lessens the risk. We are really entering a new type of schooling as a global community. We can empower children to own their learning, to own these new circumstances, and to still be joyful. And that's what we aim to do.
This is a rapidly developing situation, and we are responding quickly with day-to-day changes, and we want to connect with you too. Please expect to receive your survey in the next day or so, and it will ask you some specific questions that I urge you to complete as soon as possible. Your input will be vital as we finalize our plan in the coming days. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to reassure you that the health and safety of our community is our #1 priority. We look forward to sharing our plan with you in just a few weeks.